Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you a flippin' dippin' potato chippin' awesome 3 versus 4 Siege of Thranduil's Hall. This was actually a requested battle. The request was that there would be 3 defending elven armies, one of each of the factions, so that is what we have here. We have an army of the High Elves, being commanded by Dark Elven King. We have an army of the Woodland Realms, being commanded by Archangel. And we have an army of the Sylvan Elves being commanded by Ragnar, who is deployed over here on this side. And then for the attackers, it was requested that there would be orcs. So we have some orcs of Gundabad over here being commanded by Pay 55. We have some orcs of the Misty Mountains being commanded by Dirty Smile 101. We have an army of Rune being commanded by Pharaoh. And last but certainly not least, we have an army of the South Runs or Harad being commanded by Arnor to Victory. And also, if you guys haven't noticed by now, I actually did get a new microphone. Because I had been actually getting a few comments about my microphone was too quiet because before I was just using my normal headset, and for whatever reason it could not, the volume would not increase. I don't know why. Even though I maxed out, it still wouldn't increase. But yeah, so that's what we have pretty much right here. I will quickly go through the army compositions, and then we will get started with this absolutely amazing battle. So to start off with, we will go over the army composition of Dark Elven King. But before we actually do that, I would like to give a huge thank you to Dark Elven King because he was the one who sent in this replay. He's a good friend of mine, and he set up the battle and played in it for me and then sent me the replay. So, to start off with, he has one unit of Smiths of Eregion. I believe that is one of the only melee armor-piercing units that the High Elves actually possess at the moment. 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters, 1 unit of Fallis Lords, 3 units of Elder Enway Swordsmen, 3 units of Elder Enway Spearmen, 1 Catapult, 2 units of Elder Enway Archers, 1 unit of Noratino Warriors. Oh, by the way, the Elder Enway Archers actually are good because they are AP for an archer unit. However, they do run out of ammo very quickly. The Noratino Warriors also run out of ammo very quickly, but I don't think they have the AP missile damage. He also has 1 unit of Imladris Guards, possibly one of the best units of pikes in the game. What else do you have? He also has 1 unit of Imladris Storm Raiders, and of course he has the Noldor Elder Nobles, which is, I don't know where he actually has them, but they are quite probably the best unit that the High Elves can field. They are quite low in numbers, but their stats are just absolutely crazy. They have a crazy amount of missile damage, melee, and defense. They're just like absolute beast. They're pretty much Elder Palace Guard of the Woodland Realms, but with bows and arrows as well as a sword and shield. And so now we will go over the army composition of Archangel. Now, Archangel's army composition was actually kind of hard to make because a large portion of his army was in fact hiding, and I could not see them. And as I only ran through this battle very quickly once, I was not able to find all his units. But the units that I do know that he has is he has 1 unit of Elder Palace Guard, which is back here. That is where his general is. It's back in the actual mountain. We'll go check it out really quickly. Right here. That's where his general is. And then he also has, what else? 1 ballista, which you can see over here on this cliff. I believe he has 3 units of Here-e Dirith. 2 are here. No, 4 units. 2 are here, 2 are over there. They're a nice sword and shield elven unit. He has 2 units of Elder Council, which is the only elven javelin unit that is available. I believe only to the Sylvan Elves and the Woodland Realms, but not to the High Elves. He also has 2 units of Here and Ek, which are a nice spearman unit. They can hold the line. I believe they have a couple hit points as well. He has 1 unit of Woodland Sentinels, which are a nice arch unit because they are AP. However, they are light archers, which means they are very susceptible to arrow fire and will be outskirmished by any other heavy archer unit in the game. He also has 1 unit of Elder Royal Guard, a nice AP archer unit, and he also has 1 unit of Elder Royal Council, which are a very, very deadly archer unit. And they are also deadly in melee. Let's see, no. Yeah, and then he also has a couple units of Here Elang, which are just the Woodland Realms version of the Elder Enway Swordsman. And I believe he also might have some Sylvan, Sindar Blade Masters, but I can't be too sure about that. And anyway, we will now go over the army composition of Ragnar. He has 4 units of Sylvan Axemen with, I believe, 2 armor upgrades, because their non-upgraded counterparts have just all silver armor. Whereas if you upgrade them, you get this very, very nice aesthetic to them, which reminds me very much of the elves that fought at Helm's Deep in the movie of the 2 Towers, which I assume is the look what they were going for. And they're also nice because they are AP, because they do, in fact, wield axes rather than swords or spears. And then he also has 2 units of Sylvan Heavy Archers, a nice heavy archer unit. I believe 3 units of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, they're very good at holding a line. 3 units of Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, again, just like the Elder Swordsman or Here Lang. 1 Catapult, 2 units of Elder Council, 1 unit of Sindar Archers, 1 unit of Galadrim Mounted Company, and 1 unit of Galadrim Veteran Warriors, which is where his general is. And now, that pretty much wraps up the army compositions of the defenders, so we will quickly go over to the army of, I believe this is Gundabad. So what he has I'm sorry, I can't talk. He has 2 units of Witch Realm Pikemen. Pikemen and Spearmen, when you're on the attack, to me anyway, are pretty much not worth bringing unless you're just trying to tie down some defenses of the enemy defenders, because obviously Spearmen and Pikemen take a very long time to actually get the kills, and they're obviously just good at holding a line and stuff. So whenever I see Spearmen and stuff in a attacking army, I am pretty bewildered by that. He also has 2 units of Witch Realm Scourge Raiders, which are a very nice AP unit. 3 units of Black Uruks of the Mountain, which are a nice shock infantry unit. They will get cut down eventually, but they are pretty, they get the job done. 1 unit of Orc Marauders, which is just basically a trash unit that he's just using to fill up his army, I suppose. 1 unit of Witch Realm Blackguard, which is where his general is, a nice hit point, multiple hit point, sword and shield unit with high attack and defense values. 2 units of Guardians of Karndum. I believe in 0.86 they had hit points. I'm not too sure if they do now. Despite Gundabad being my favorite evil faction, I have not played them that often since 0.9 came out. 1 unit of Witch Realm Hammerguard, which are very, very excellent. They are essentially the Sons of Durin, but for Gundabad. This is 2 units of Gundabad Guard. In 0.6, these guys were complete trash, but now they actually are good. I believe they have a couple hit points as well as decent attack and defense values for Spearmen. Then he has 1 unit of Trolls of Gundabad, which I believe are the 2nd best troll unit in the game. He has 1 Ballista, and then he also has 2 units of Goblin Trackers, which is just a low trash archer unit. The main problem with Gundabad has always been their archers, because they can only bring 1 unit of Numenorean Shadow Bows, which is what he has also. And then they can only bring either Goblin Trackers or another, I believe, low-tier archer unit like that. Also, I do apologize if I sound quite tired. It is somewhat late over here, but I decided I should probably get this video out, as I have not uploaded one in quite some time. Now, we will go over the army composition of the 2nd attacker. He has 1 unit of Bolg's Champions, 2 units of Mountain Uruk Pikes, 2 units of Blackwatch Legion, 3 units of Black Uruks of the Mountain, 1 unit of Orc Bodyguards, which is where his general is. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here. He also has 1 unit of Snow Trolls, a decent troll unit, but the main thing about the trolls for the Orcs of the Misty Mountains has always been that they can bring 3 to 4 units of trolls without any trouble. However, most of the rules in any games prevent that happening. Most of the time there's a max on 1 troll unit. He has 2 units of Heavy Goblin Spears built in Shield Wall, 1 Catapult, and 2 units of Heavy Goblin Crossbows. One of them is hiding, one of them is right here. And oh yeah, what else? Yeah, he also has 2 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers, which are all, of course, hiding. Now, Pharaoh also actually had a large portion of his army hiding. He has 2 units of Lok Narim. I believe he has maybe a Kumul's Shadow Bows. I don't know to be sure. I'm pretty positive that he does have a unit of Shadow Guard. I think he also has a unit of Dragon's Wrath Crossbowmen. He has some Clan Guard, he has some Balkoth Tribesmen, he has some Balkoth Sapphire Tribesmen. Then back here, you can see he has 4 units of Lok Gamperim. Again, these guys are probably better than Pikes because they're more of a halberd unit, but still. He also has 1 unit of Camul's Chosen, he has 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen, and the rest of his army is hiding. And now we will go on to the 4th and final attacking army, which, yeah, I already said it was being commanded by Arnor to Victory. He has 2 units of Trollmen of Harad, who are a very deadly multiple hit point, high attack and defense value sword shield unit, 1 catapult, 1 unit of Muhad Tribesmen, 1 unit of, yes, that's right, Mumakil, 2 back-to-back videos with Mumakil, actually. That's quite cool. He has 4 units of Dismounted Serpent Guard, a nice sword and shield unit, standard infantry, 4 units of Southron Pikemen. Again, I always wonder why they bring Pikemen, but again, Southron Pikemen are kind of a large part of the Haradrim army. I probably would have brought Southron Warband rather, especially because Southron Warband, despite being a spear unit, actually do have AP. He has 2 units of Haradrim Archers, 1 unit of, what are they called, Hashari Shadows, and 1 unit of Southron Archers. He also has 1 unit of just a standard Hashari, which, I don't know where they are, they're probably hiding. I believe they're actually right here. And Hashari are a two-handed. They have two swords, so obviously they remain. Whoa, does he have two units of Hashari? I don't know. Yeah, there are though. But yeah, their main issue is that they are very susceptible to arrow fire, just like pretty much all shock infantry. But we are gonna go quickly over here because, unfortunately for the Dirty Smile 101, his catapult gets absolutely instantaneously almost destroyed by the archers of the Elven defenders. Because if you did not know this, any archer unit in the game, I believe right now, when fire arrows are turned on with 10 plus damage, so most of the time it'll be elves, with 10 plus damage can effectively just melt instantly any artillery or siege towers, anything. So if you have a unit with 10 plus missile damage, make sure you fire as soon as possible at the siege towers and artillery. Actually, no, I was wrong. It looks like the ballista of Archangel is going to take out the catapult. I assumed that it was the archers. And you can see right here, our Dark Elven King is bringing down his troops that were forced to deploy over here, and he is going to take up the defense mostly on this side. However, I was very happy with the teamwork of the defenders. They actually worked very well together, helping each other out where they saw their ally was weak. Because obviously, just from the way things were deployed, the Sylvan Elves will defend this left flank, High Elves on this right, and Woodland Realms in the middle. Over here, though, you can see the skirmish phase between artillery taking place of the orcs of the Misty Mountains and the Woodland Realms, and at the same time you can see Gundabad and Harad beginning to close in and help just get behind their allies, ready for I assume, full on a charge. Yeah, this actually, I actually do regret not being able to play in this battle. I was actually busy, but it's certainly still fun to watch and commentate over. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. Looks like, yeah, two catapults are already down of the Dirty Smile 101's army. And he's trying to retreat his last one, but it will get taken out in the next volley. Over here, however, you can see that the Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen are beginning to be shot down by, I don't know, oh, there goes last catapult. I believe they're starting to get shot by maybe the Noratino warriors? No, the Noratino warriors are walking up now. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the Henny Dower, who are, yeah, a nice light archer unit. Oh yeah, this poor unit of Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen will just get absolutely shredded, especially because I don't believe they can even shoot at anyone. Maybe they're trying to take a couple shots at those Elder Runway Spearmen, but they're not going to be able to get off any effective volleys. They're just getting cut down way too quickly. Look at that. They're already down to 33. Yeah. Oh, what? No. What? I'm so confused. He has 3 units of Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen. Okay. I did not know that. Okay. You can see Gundabad is almost there, and Harad is almost behind their its ally. And Harad is already back here. All of his units are in loose formation, which is a good idea because as the main like force of Harad is pretty much entirely lightly armored, they will get absolutely shredded by the high tier Elven archers. Where is this catapult firing? I believe it's firing up here at the Sylvan Elves. I assume he's trying to take a couple shots at these Sylvan Heavy archers, but he actually misses and gets a couple of these Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, which, you know, is not bad for him, but it is bad for Ragnar. You got a couple of those archers. Ooh, yeah, you can see narrowly missing those Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, but they will actually get shot. Even then, will be taken out in a couple minutes here. Wow, that one was a terrible miss. Let's see what they have back here. So he has some Sindar Archers, his Galadrim Veteran Warriors, Dark Elven King has some Storm Raiders, as well as his Phallus Lords, Sindar Blade Masters. Ah, here's his Noldor Elder Nobles, which is where his general is. Phallus Lords, Sindar Blade Masters. Yeah, so they've got a good bit back here just so. Because for the most part, especially when there are 4 attacking armies, there will definitely be a retreat to the back cave, to the inner caves, I should say, rather. Yep. And so, as Dirty Smile 101 has no further use of his catapult crew, he is just going to run them up here, maybe trying to get the Elven archers to fire at them, but they are not taking the bait. Whose catapult? Yeah, you can see Rune's catapult beginning to well, not beginning to, continuing to fire at the Sylvan defenses. And these Loknarim are faring no better than their goblin crossbow counterparts. They're getting absolutely shredded by the elven archers. Over here, though, you can see that he is moving forward. That Pharaoh is moving forward some Claneguard as well as some Balkoth tribesmen. But as they're given no support, they will be shot down quite quickly and rendered pretty much ineffective as soon as they're able to get to the front line of the elven defenses. But you can also see that the Harad archers are beginning to move up, try to kind of skirmish the elven archers. But since the elven archers not only have the high ground, Star Wars reference, but they're so much better, they'll be able to absolutely butcher these Harad archers, who are lightly armored, very, very lightly armored. They pretty much just have a little robes. They will get shot down pretty much, ooh, yeah, just very, very quickly. I would not like to be in this situation. I believe if I was the attackers, I probably would have just saved my archers for later in the battle, because, well, maybe they're just trying to waste the ammo of the defenders, because as most of the defenders' archers are heavy archers, they will lose ammo quicker. Not to mention the RIP, which means they will lose archer ammo even quicker. But still, I would probably just save my archers for later in the battle. But yeah, they will, even though they're going to get shot down, they will not serve no purpose. They will waste a lot of the arrows. You can see this unit of Goblin Crossbowmen is already down to 12. I believe that was the unit that was up here on the hill. And over here, you can see some Noratina warriors having flaming ammo on, shooting at these Claneguard, who are just sitting there, I assume, again, just there to soak up arrow fire. And right here, you can see the battle in the melee beginning to be joined for the first time. This catapult crew is going to fight against the Huron Ek spearmen, who will easily overcome the poor catapult crew. I believe I will turn this down. That is quite loud. I don't want you guys to not be able to hear me at all. Yeah. So if that is still too loud, just make sure you tell me in the comments, and I will be sure to turn it down again for the next video. Which again, it's like the same heal animation like 12 times in a row. They are already breaking. Claneguard are now going. No, maybe not. Thought they were going to fight against the Huron Ek spearmen, but maybe not. Over here, I believe, is where the Balkoth tribesmen were being sent, but it looks like they were all shot down. The Harad archers are already taking horrendous casualties. This unit's already down to 44. This one is already down to 63. Fire arrows, even though they are way, way better than they used to be, ooh, I believe that is a waste using catapult on these Harad archers. But even though the fire arrows were increased in effectiveness since the .86, I still believe this is probably not the best move against such lightly armored foes, just because of the fact that fire arrows do take a longer time to load up and fire. I don't think they take any more ammo, but I'm pretty positive that they take longer to actually reload and fire. Over here, though, you can see Dark Elven King has a nice defense. He has Imladris Guard. When you have Imladris Guards, flanked by 2 units of Elven Spearmen in Shield Wall. However, you will see that pay 55 will make Dark Elven King pay for being in Shield Wall. Over here, you can see Ragnar's nice defense. He's got a unit of Sylvan Axemen right here, just in Shield Wall, trying to block off any enemies from getting into his Sylvan Archers. I believe this was a smart move, just putting a couple units here, because if he decided to put a lot of troops here, that catapult of Rune would be able to have an absolute field day against his heavily armored and very expensive troops. But yeah, like I said, there was actually some very good teamwork going on. You can see Ragnar's catapult over here helping out the Woodland Realms, as well as quite a number of Sylvan units back here to help defend in the middle as well. And you can see Archangel being a very good ally to Dark Elven King and supporting him with a couple units of Dirith, as well as a Ballista. What is Dark? Okay, yeah. Okay, you can see the advance begin to happen right now. Some snow trolls are beginning to advance, as well as units. Yeah, it looks like a mix of Black Archers of the Mountain from both Pay 55 as well as Dirty Smile 101. who was also bringing up some mountain orc pikes. However, there is nothing more vexing in this game than being an elven army and being shot at by goblin trackers. Trust me, that is excruciatingly annoying to have that happen to you. However, because the Elder Runway Spearmen are very heavily armored, they should not take very many casualties at all from that. It is a good strategy, though, just because of the fact that it will definitely annoy a lot of the players who are getting shot at by goblin trackers. You can see over here that Arnold to Victory is pushing forward his units of Southron pikemen to help out the advance of his allies right down here. I already see some Southron archers right here who are already taking casualties. And these snow trolls, because they're standing still, are going to be getting shot at by both the Woodland Realms and the Sylvan Elves. I don't think the High Elves are firing at them just yet, but you can already see that already one of them has died and a lot of them are bloodied up, which is very unfortunate because whenever you're playing as an orc faction, especially when there's a one troll limit, you definitely don't want your trolls to die to archers because they're very, very handy at getting through. Oh, there goes another troll. Oh, 2 trolls. Ooh, 4 of them are already down. But yeah, like I was saying, trolls are very, very effective at breaking through enemy defenses, especially elves, just because of their low numbers. So you definitely do not want them to take casualties like that just from archers. Oh, look at this. You can also see some Dirty Smell 101 also has some Snaga skirmishers who are a very cheap javelin unit who can definitely get the job done. However, they are lightly armored, so they will take horrendous casualties from missiles, as well as if they get into melee, they will instantly get defeated. The Clan Guard have broken. Looks like Archangel's Elder Royal Guard were out of ammo, and as the Clan Guard was sitting here, he has charged them forward into them, and has easily dealt with them. Over here, however, you can actually see that the battle has in fact joined. You can see that Dirty Smile's 2 units of Heavy Goblin Spears are fighting at the Sylvan Axemen. And as these Sylvan Axemen are AP, and these are spears, and spears, the Sylvan Heavy Axemen, as you can see, are just absolutely butchering the poor Heavy Goblin Spears. Spears in this patch are, especially low to mid tier spears, like the Heavy Goblin Spears and Gondor Spearmen, are pretty much worthless. I play a lot of Gondor, and I've pretty much learned that if you're Gondor, just never bring Gondor Spearmen because it's almost completely pointless. You can see the Snaga skirmishers, already been to take quite a few. Oh yeah, not quite a few. A lot of losses to archer fire, as well as these mountain Uruk pikes. It seems to me that the Orcs of the Misty Mountains player is focusing his attack mostly over here on the left flank, whereas the Gundabad player, as you can see, is focusing mostly on this High Elven army. See the Nortina warriors, who are also out of ammo, beginning to fight against the Orc Marauders. Okay, Ballista. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, where is the Ballista of pay 55? I don't believe I know where it is, but trust me, you will notice in a while why. Notice in just a bit here why I want to know what where it is. Ooh, 2 catapults of the Dark Elven Kings have already been taken out by a ballista. You can see Black Elves of the Mountain taking casualties from these Elder Runway archers who have flaming shot on. Let's see over here though. Yeah, these Sylvan Axemen are still holding strong against the Mountain Uruk pikes and the Heavy Goblin Spears. You can see the Goblin Spears have been absolutely butchered, and the Sylvan Axemen are just having a field day of it against these mid-tier units of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. And these Naga Skirmishers, unfortunately, I don't believe have done much damage at all, because they, the target that they were firing at was much too close to their own allies, which will force them to actually not throw their javelins. So pretty much they just got shot down. They just got shot to death before they were able to throw probably any of the javelins. Over here you can see Southron pikemen beginning to be shot by these Sylvan Heavy Archers. Ooh, and you can see the absolute death and destruction that was brought upon the evil faction's archers. Goblin trackers are moving up. Yes, here are the Camula Shadowbows. Okay, so this is most of Rune's hidden army. You can see some Camula's Shadowbows, Dragon Death Crossbowmen, Camille's Shadow Guard, Loke Flagrim, you know, Loke Steinrim, just a pretty standard runic army. I wonder if he actually is going to finally move up his main army. Is this where his general is? I was wondering. No, okay. I don't actually know where Rune's general is. Because I know he's not in the Dragonsworth Crossbowmen because they would not have been able to hide if that were the case. Just so you can see what looks like a massive push from the runic army. For the most part, though, the other three armies have not pushed forward very much at all. However, you can see a couple units of Witch Realm Scourgers being brought forward by Pay 55. The attackers in this game definitely were taking a slower approach to things because they definitely knew that they did not want to get shot, their whole army to get shot to pieces right away by the Elven archers. As you can see, the Southern Pikemen are already down to 54 before they even got into the melee fight. The Camula Shadow Guard and Balkoth Sapphire Blazemen are in the front lines, but the Camula Shadow Bows are taking quite a beating from the Sylvan Heavy Archers and Woodland Realms. But I believe most of the High Elven Archers are focusing over on this area. Because, oh no, I missed it. You can see right here, this unit of Sylvan Heavy, or Elder Runway Spearmen was at 63, has been just absolutely getting destroyed by the Ballista. Unfortunately, I don't think Dark Elven King noticed this, so he was actually, he just took horrendous casualties just because of that artillery fire. And you can see Honor to Victory is trying to exploit this weakness right here by putting forward a very healthy unit of Southern Pikemen just to this one area. Over here, however, you can see the Nortino Warriors are actually doing a very good job of slowing the advance of the Gundabad players' armies. Dark Elven King, however, has noticed that his defense is very, very thin here due to the Ballista, so he will bring forward his last unit of Elder Runway Spearmen. However, I just hope that I mostly just hope that they will not meet the same fate as their other unit. You can see a catapult trying to snipe the Ballista of Archangel right here. You can also see these Elder Runway Archers taking a nice position to fire at this blob of troops right here. And over here you can see that the Camul's Shadow Guard are going to fight against these two units of Ear and X Spearmen as well as the Elder Royal Guard. I do believe that the Camul's Shadow Guard will definitely take a good chunk out of these here and X Spearmen, but because of the fact that the Elder Royal Guard are here and because they're not, the Shadow Guard are not being given any support, they will be defeated relatively soon. However, you can see some Sylvan Heavy Spearmen being brought forward by Ragnar to help out his ally, as well as Archangel's Elder Royal Council are here to try and throw some javelins into this blob of troops. And now I think we'll go check out over here. You can see a third advancing unit of a Sylvan Axemen. Let's see here. Yes, you can see that the two units of Sylvan Axemen that were here, I believe the first one has been pretty much completely destroyed. This one is starting to take casualties, but they have absolutely done work. They are just tearing through these Mountain Uruk pikes. Heavy spears are pretty much just gone. You can see some Southern Pikemen that were brought forward not too long ago by Honor to Victory. And over here you can see an absolute massive push. I believe this is Pharaoh's pretty much entire runic army besides the archers back here. Just pushing as hard as possible as he can right here to the middle, which is why Ragnar has brought forward a unit of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen as well as his catapult. And you can see him bring forward a unit of the Elder Council as well. Also, this is where the archers all back here are focusing their fire. They're focusing right here on this huge blob of runic troops. The Gladder Veteran Warriors and the Cinder Archers will definitely take a large chunk out of those troops there. Archangel has also brought his two units of here Edirith, which are over here on this flank, or right here, to go help and stop this tide of runic forces. If you saw my last, oh, he's also bringing forward his Hiri Lang. Well, they're just bringing forward everything. There's some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, some Hiri Lang, Hiri Edirith. But yeah, if you saw my last Thranduil's Hell Siege, that was actually had Rune and Woodland Realms, you would know that our main fault that was in that battle was we were just completely like taken aback and just surprised on how quickly Rune was able to push through this centerpiece And I believe if they were given more support from their allies, this probably would have been the case, but due to the teamwork of Ragnar and Archangel, they were able to stop this flow of runic forces, at least for the time being. However, you can see that some have kind of slipped through the crack right here. You can see over here that the Witchrealm Scourge Raiders have been brought forward, as well as, yeah, these Black Uruks of the Mountain have taken quite a lot of losses. I believe they were the ones that were just staying there getting shot at. Over here, however, you can see just more fighting going on. The Marauders Guards are down to 33, fighting against Orc Marauders, Witchrealm Pikemen, Black Uruks of the Mountain, and the like. Oh, and these Goblin Trackers are just taking point-blank shots right into, I believe the Ballistic is what they're going for, but I'm not too positive. This Dark Elven King still has one catapult left, and Archangel does notice that Dark Elven King's pikes are having a bit of trouble here, so he is sending forward both of his other units of here, Idira, to help out on that flank. Right here, however, the Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen and Valkoth Sapphire Bladesmen are just kind of holding the ground, as well as the Dragon's Wrath Crossbowmen. But I believe they probably should push forward. I believe that was the runic player that has now lost half of his men, because you can see he's just taking an absolute beating from the archers and just the archers, the javelins, just everything pretty much. He's just really being given no support by his allies whatsoever. Ooh, and that was a good catapult right there. Although if he's not careful, Ragnar's catapult crew will actually be caught in melee. You can see Pharaoh is trying to get around this flank right here, but pretty much what that is doing is just opening up his forces to deadly javelin volleys. However, it seems that this unit of Elder Council are in fact out of ammo. So, because they are spearmen, they will be able to stop the flanking maneuver from Pharaoh's Lok Sion Rim. Or Lok Sion Rim. So yes, I definitely like the teamwork that's going on here between all the Elven players. They're doing a very good job of it. Oh, we can see some Camille's Dragon Knights here too, trying to push through there, just trying to bully their way through the Elven defensive line. These Woodland Sentinels are now out of ammo, so they're going to go help out in this fight right here in the middle. You can see the Balkoth Sapphire Bladesmen right here too, but just look at the death toll. I mean, look how many runic bodies there are. However, whenever you play as the Woodland Realms, you probably notice the red capes are very, very discernible amongst the dead bodies. So, it definitely, even though you might come out on top in the battle, it almost seems like you didn't whenever you're playing as the Woodland Realms. Just because of, just if you're looking straight up at the bodies. Over here, you can see that Honor to Victory has brought forward a... Oh, I'm going to pause this for a second. Is starting to bring forward a large portion of his forces. He's got some Hashari Shadows, his Muhad tribes, and we'll watch this in a second here. He's brought up. He's also brought some Dismounted Serpent Guard, and Dirty Smell 101 is helping out his ally over on this side by bringing forward a unit of Black Uruks of the Mountains. This unit of Sylvan Axemen is just sitting here, and how you will see they will take deadly casualties to these Muhad tribesmen. Over here, however, you can see Camille's Shadowbows and Lok Narim and Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen beginning to fire at the somewhat weakening defenses on this right flank. You can even see some Dismounted Serpent Guards, some Scourge Raiders, and just the like over on this side. However, he does have, Dark Elven King does have a very nice reserve right here. He has, what I believe, 2 units of Elderway Swordsmen, as well as a unit of Smiths of our region. I don't know if I'm saying the right, by the way. If I am, just tell me in the comments. I would be grateful for it. However, just like in the Minas Tirith battle, the Harad player is being very safe with his Mumakil and just waiting for the right time to use them, which is obviously very smart, because if he had charged them forward early in the battle, they would have been absolutely shot to pieces by the AP arrows of the Elven archers. Okay, so now I think we'll go ahead and take a look at the absolute death and destruction that is wrought by these Muhad tribesmen amongst these Sylvan Axemen. Ooh. Believe they're targeting... Oh, you can actually see... Oh yeah, the Sylvan Heavy Archers that are out of ammo have also been brought forward in melee. Ooh. They're also taking arrow fire from, I believe, the Goblin Trackers. The Hashari Shadows are back here. Yeah, they are also firing right there. Ooh, not to mention some fire arrows, ouch. So he has also brought forward his Elder Royal Council, who will be able to do very, very well in melee. They are, in fact, a not only are they excellent archers, but they are absolutely beast in melee as well. You can see the javelins beginning to fire at the Sylvan Axemen and taking a great chunk of. Ooh. Oh, did you see that? Look at that! Wow, it was like 56 all the way down to 41. That was terrible. Oh, that is an excellent play by Arnold to Victor right there, bringing forward his Muhad tribesmen. Dang, that unit was at 56, now it's all the way down to 26. It's going to be pretty much just absolutely decimated. Which that is very, very unfortunate because I don't believe he has any other unit of Sylvan Axemen left, so if I were him, I would begin to take my troops and put them right up here on the top of this hill. Yeah, but that's pretty much all he has left infantry-wise are these Elder Royal Council and these Sylvan Heavy Archers, because most of his infantry is back here and is trying to help stem the tide of these runic forces. However, as you can see, the Rune player has pretty much nothing left. Well, not nothing left, but is a very, very thin line to what compared to what he used to have. So Arn to Victor is bringing forward a unit of dismounted Serpent Guard to help out there, as well as the Muhad tribesmen, who I believe are out of ammo, are going to go help out in the melee. Which is, of course, a good idea, because otherwise that would leave these troops free to go help out on the other flanks. Over here, you can see some Bolg's champions being moved forward, and also over here, you can see that despite actually having a quite thin line, defensive line right here, the combined forces of the High Elves and the Woodland Realms are still holding fast against the combined forces of the Harad and the Orcs of Gundabad. However, as you can see, they still have quite a lot of infantry left, the attacking forces. But besides Rune and Harad, they pretty much don't have a whole lot left. Snow Trolls are still at 6. Well, obviously. You can see that the presence of the Dismounted Serpent Guard has definitely been felt, because they are starting to push through all the way to the catapult, actually, and it's actually preventing it from being able to fire. And the Muhad tribesmen, I was actually wrong. They are not out of ammo, or maybe they just ran out of ammo, because I don't know if you saw a couple of volleys being thrown right up here. And so the Elder Council are returning javelin volleys, but I believe they are firing. Yeah, they're firing down at these Dismounted Serpent Guard, which is of course a very much better target. The Dragon's Wrath crossbowmen. I don't know what they've been firing at exactly, because they have kind of a tricky and like crossbow. It's like almost like it's just a little odd. Anyway, guys, I will be right back. I have a message. I should probably take this, so I'll see you guys back in just a couple seconds. Okay, guys, so I am in fact back now. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, that's attack is going definitely better than it had been for the for the attacking armies. I'm sorry, I'm a little I'm a little flustered after that. But anyway, you can see definite casualties have been going on right here. These Sylvan Elves are very, very thin at the moment. At this point, there are only 25 Sylvan Heavy Archers stemming the tide right here, and they're taking a beating from these Goblin Trackers. Over here, however, you can see the melee fight has been again. Well, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, can't talk. Okay. Anyway, so Arnold to Victory has brought forward another unit of Dismounted Serpent Guard, and so to help out, Ragnar has brought forward another unit of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, who are also in Shield Wall. And the Hishari Shadows, which are the archer, which is an archer unit, have been brought forward by Arnold to Victory as well. These guys are not to be trifled with in melee, actually, even though they are archers, and light archers at that. They actually can hold their own quite well in melee. And over here, these okay, never mind. You can see one unit of Eldraine Swordsmen has been committed to the fight. However, things are definitely looking better for the defenders here than on the other flank. A catapult, I believe, from Harad or Rune. I don't, because Gundabad yeah, that's the Harad catapult is trying to take out those Smiths of a region, which is definitely a very good target. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, I promise this is the last time. Okay, you can see over here that the Belkoth Sapphire Bladesmen have also been committed to melee, because I don't think they have been getting very much luck, just because of the angle they were at with their javelins. You can also see the normal the Camul's shadow bows are being committed to melee as well. I'm going to take it back. The Balkath Sapphire Bladesmen are actually throwing the javelins right here at the Elder Runway Archers, who were at a very, very excellent position right here, just absolutely racking up the kills amongst the Harad and Rune forces.
Good tidings. The enemy general
Oh, dang. Okay, there goes the Runic General, which definitely will shake the morale of his troops that he has left. Which he doesn't have very much left, really at all. Because the support from his allies has just pretty much come too late at this point. He just really does not have almost anything left. I don't... Oh yeah, the Elder Runway Archers are taking a beating from those Balkath Sapphire Bladesmen. Which that is a very good target definitely for Pharaoh, because the Elder Runway Archers are AP, which means they will be able to a great deal of damage to the dismounted Serpent Guard here. So to try to stop this, Dark Elven King is beginning to fire his archers at the Balkath Sapphire Bladesmen. Let's take a look at back just around here though, because I believe this is getting near to the point when the Mumakil are brought to the fight. So we need to ready ourselves for that. Pay 55 is disengaging this unit of Witchroom Pikemen. I believe he's going to put them into the melee in the center fight, just because I assume he wants to tie down the defending units right there, just long enough for more reinforcements to arrive. You can see another a fresh unit of Witchroom Pikemen, as well as some Guardians of Thranduil being brought forward by Pay 55 as well. Also, his Numenor and Shadow Guard are back there. Still, things aren't looking super great for the attackers at the moment, but actually, I take it back, because 53% of the defenders are killed and only 56% of the attackers are killed. So things actually are looking pretty good for the attackers. You can see the Blackguard and Thranduil are back here safely, along with the Trolls and Gundabad Guard. I also believe that there is... let's see here. I think the Witch Realm Hammer Guard are maybe in the melee. I don't quite know. There's actually still a couple Orc Marauders left. That is very surprising. Yeah, I actually don't know where the Hammer Guard are. You can see another unit of Elder Runway Swordsmen being brought from the reserves to the front lines by Dark Elven King, because things are looking quite thin right here, especially because of the Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen taking point-blank shots at these Elder Runway Spearmen and here Edirith. Not to mention these Numenor and Shadow Guard will be able to take a good chunk of out of these Elder Runway Swordsmen, who, being shock infantry, will take quite bad casualties from any melee unit or any missile unit. I'm sorry. Over here, however, the attacking infantry is pretty much all but dealt with. The only thing they have left are these Shari Shadows, which, as I said, are not to be trifled with in melee. There are still 40 of them left after all. These Sapphire Bladesmen have been put into melee and have been butchered. There's only a few of them left, 13. And this right flank is looking very good. The Dismounted Serpent Guard are all but dealt with. The only real area of concern was this area, but because of the Sindar Blade Masters and Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen that are right here, things are still looking very, very well on this flank, actually. Things have been turned around for the Sylvan player. You can just look how far down these Sylvan Axemen pushed down, though, before they were finally stopped by the Muhad tribesmen. I was very surprised by that. Those Axemen did very, very well. Yes, okay, it looks like they're getting ready for a final push. Well, not a final push, but a very, very deadly push, I should say, because the Harad player is bringing up his Demons of the Desert, as well as his Mumakil, and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains player is bringing forward his Blackwatch Legion. The Blackwatch Legion have only 8 attack, but they have like 56 defense, as well as multiple hit points, so they're definitely good at holding a line. But also, since their high defense values and their hit points, they will be able to tie down the defending forces for a very long time. But yes, if they are not careful, the Mumakil will definitely just destroy all that's left of the defending forces on the outside. I bet they're definitely wishing that they had saved some of their archers at this point, because the AP archers would have done a very great deal of damage to the Mumakil. You can see, though, that the attacking forces of both Gundabad, Orcs of the Misty Mountains, and Orcs of the Misty Mountains are just kind of biding their time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and it looks like that moment has almost come, because you can see the Guardians of Carndoom as well as Goblin Trackers beginning to move forward towards this front line right here. You can see that even though the Elven defense is starting to wrap around the Orcs of Gundabad right here, this is actually kind of a bad thing, just because of the fact that the Goblin Trackers, as you can see, and the Carndoom will be able to wrap around this area and just surround the defenders right here. You can also see that the Snow Trolls have been committed to the fight on this flank. Yes, and you can see in the background the Mumakil marching forward to war. Yeah, you can see right here, Pay 55 is trying to flank around the defending forces right here. Oh yes, and the Smiths of Region have been committed to melee. They will be able to do very well against anything that the Force of Evil can pit against them. It's just the Elder Runway Swordsmen are trying to reform, kind of, so that they will not be wrapped around, but unfortunately he was not able to get it quite in time, so a few of them will get chopped in the back, but they are able to turn around quite quickly. So, and no harm done there. There we go. Okay, Arnor to Victory is now pushing forward with Mumakil right here, right on this kind of weakened flank. Well, it's not really weakened, but it's weak. Well, it's not weakened for the defenders, but it's weakened for the attackers. And unfortunately, unfortunately for the defenders, these Sindar Blade Masters and Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen are going to get absolutely shredded by the Mumakil. However, as you can see, one of them has already been bloodied up, because these Sindar Blade Masters are, after all, Sindar Blade Masters. 42 attack, 42 defense, and 20 charge. You can see the archers on top of the Mumakil are firing. I believe that they are firing over here at the Sindar archers, maybe over here at the main defense, or at the center defense, which, as you can see, is no longer a epic battle line. You can see just the absolute death and destruction. However, there is still a very healthy force of defending elves right here, standing amongst the ruin. And see this catapult is taking a bit of taking out a bit of the troops right here. Looks like some of the Dragon's Knights actually managed to get up here, but I believe that's why the Galadrim mounted company was up here, and I believe they were just dealing with that. I believe... Actually, no, let me go back here. Yes, okay, so they are beginning to actually... The defenders are going to do a full-on retreat. They realize that they... Well, not yet. They do realize that the Mumakil have broken through, and look at this. They're just... Absolutely, they have just single-handedly destroyed what was left of the troops right here. Look, there's just nothing left. I mean, a majority of them have retreated, but they have taken an absolute, they have just dealt a devastating blow to the defending forces right here at the middle area. I almost called it a gate. So you can see that the defenders are doing a full-on retreat. They're going to use... Yeah, Ragnar is going to use his Galadrim mounted company to cover the retreat of the elves. The Sindar archers, Galadrim veteran warriors, Sindar blade masters, heavy spearmen, heavy swordsmen, Elder Council, all retreating back into the inner cave. But the Galadrim mounted company actually will be able to get a nice charge off right into these Numenorian Shadow Guard before they are cut down. Ooh, there's... Okay, whoa, dang! What the... I don't know what happened there, but for whatever reason, two of the Mumakil just died. Two of the Mumakil just died right there. I don't know why. Oh, that's why. Elder Council, dang. Archangel was the real MVP right there. His Elder Council just killed all three of the Mumakil right away. Which actually saved the lives of these Sindar Blade Masters, both the units of these Sindar Blade Masters, as well as the Imladr Storm Raiders and Elder Runway Archers. Because otherwise, I believe that the Mumakil would have been able to kill them. Over here, despite the full retreat, the Elder Runway Spearmen, Imladris Guards, and Elder Runway Archers, as well as a couple Fury Deerith, are actually holding, well, and Smiths of Region are actually holding quite well against these forces right here. You can see some Bolg's champions from Dirty Smell 101 trying to sneak their way around. But because of these trolls, this defense right here will be broken, because because their lines are already quite thinned. Because the trolls, pretty much their best thing is at breaking through lines, they will be able to break through here and surround the remaining defenders. You can see the Hashari infantry unit, maybe that's 2 units, I don't know, being brought forward by Harad. You can see they're doing a massive push. You can see Blackwatch Legion up in there. You can see Blackback Mountain Berserkers, Orc Bodyguards. They are pretty much just pushing forward almost everything they have left. You can see the Trollmen have Harad. However, at this point, they actually were unable to catch any of the troops because the Mumakil were downed by the Elder Council, and because they had no cav around here in this area at the time. The elves were able to get a very, very nice defense set up, including this catapult and ballista, maybe? So we'll go ahead and take a look over here at the defense. What do they have left? They have some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, Sindar Blade Masters, completely fresh unit of Elder Palace Guard, fresh unit of False Lords, fresh unit of Elder Nobles, some Elder Council, Galadrim Veteran Warriors, but you can see a number of them are starting to disappear because they are hiding, after all. Also a unit of somewhat healthy Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. Actually, I think it's very healthy because I believe they start 63 and it's only at 55, so a quite healthy unit of Spearmen there. Oh, you can see this catapult, these 4 elves of Ragnar are trying to push the catapult as quickly as they can to get across the bridge and into the fortress. You can see the brave Hiri Dirith that were defending this area, fighting to the last, trying to give their fellow elves a chance to retreat, have been all but cut down. There are only 2 of them left and 1 Hiri Lang left. Oh, what the heck was that? Like I don't know what that was. It was almost like it was a ballista, but okay. Yeah, over here. Oh yeah, over here, Dark Elven King actually opted to leave 1 unit of Sindar Blade Masters out here to, I guess, just making sure that all of his units could actually retreat. Oh no, it looks like he's actually just trying to deal with what is over here, which that includes the Gundabad Guard and Trolls. So he's bringing forward his Inlet of Storm Raiders and his both of his units of Sindar Blade Masters. One is rather more depleted than the other, which is not a bad idea because Gundabad doesn't have that much left. The main force that is left. Well, no, I take it back. Gundabad actually does have quite a lot left. Pretty much the only evil factions left are the Orcs of the Misty Mountains and the Orcs of Gundabad. Harad has very few troops left. They do have some Trollmen and some. What else do they have? They do have some Trollmen. Oh, dang. The Elder Royal Council are making their last stand, being surrounded by Heavy Goblin Crossbows and Southern Pikemen and Blackback Mountain Berserkers up on this, almost like a battlement. Well, wall. Yeah, pretty much the only thing that Harad has left at this point are the Trollmen of Harad, the Demons of the Desert, and their Hashari. And so for the most part, in their catapult, but for the most part, it is the Orcs of Gundabad and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains that has the most left. Okay, so now it looks like Dark Elven King is beginning to retreat his forces, or what was left of his forces outside here, which that includes his Storm Raiders and his healthy unit of Sindar Blade Masters. The other units that he has out here are being left behind just to give his other two elite units a chance to get into the cave. Let's see what's going on here. I don't quite. Ooh, they actually might run into these Hashari, unfortunately for them. Which, I mean, they probably would be able to beat them. The Storm Raiders and Sindar Blade Masters would be able to beat these Hashari, but it would probably slow them down enough that they would be caught by more. Oh yeah, actually there were 2 units. Oh dang, but the Galadrim Mounted Company of Ragnar coming in to save the day. Just absolutely destroying that unit of Hashari right there. But the other unit of Hashari is here to slow down the advance of these Sindar Blade Masters and Storm Raiders, just trying to stop them from getting into the cave. Because both of these are high tier elite elven units, so they will be able to very much they will add very much to the defense in the cave. Ooh. Believe. Yeah, there's not many Galadrim Mounted Company left, only 10. I actually don't know if these Storm Raiders and Sindar Blade Masters are going to make it. The Sindar Blade Masters have already taken a number of casualties, but the Storm Raiders are still quite healthy. Oh yeah, they're not gonna make it. Now they're about to get surrounded by the units of Blackwatch Legion. Oh, I don't know. Another good charge by the Galadrim Mountain Company. Pretty much, they're just dealing with these units of Hashari. Oh, I don't know. I mean, the Mitre Storm Raiders and Sindar Blade Masters. Ooh, yeah. Sindar Blade Masters were at 44 before they engaged the Hishari. And the Mitre Storm Raiders were at 40 or something. They definitely have taken casualties. I don't know.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
I believe that was speaking about the Runic player who has nothing left. As you can see, all of his forces were just absolutely destroyed right here. So, and now you can see the forces of Gundabad and the orcs of the Misty Mountains are beginning to move into the inner area of the Thranduil's Hall's map, and eventually they will have reformed enough to get all the way up here, and then eventually they will try to cross the bridge. Looks like the Catapult of Dark Elven King is having some difficulties getting into this area, but the Catapult that was Ragnar, that only has 4 troops, actually did get in quite easily. The defense that they set up was actually rather interesting to me. Rather than just putting units right in front of the gate to bottle it up completely, they decided to kind of open it up more and allow the enemy to get inside, which I assume is mostly because they have Elder Council as well as a Catapult just to fire at them. You can see some Sindar Blade Masters, False Lords, Sindar Archers, Noldor Elder Nobles, Elder Palace Guard, and some Sindar Spearmen, or Heavy Spearmen. Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. I'm sorry. It's late. No. Sindar Blade Masters. Not Sindar Spearmen. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry. Yep, some Blackback Mountain Berserkers who look like they're going to finish off the Mitre Storm Raiders and the Sindar Blade Masters. Yep, I'm afraid that's going to be it for the Mitre Storm Raiders and Sindar Blade Masters. Ooh, they will not. Oh wow, yeah, they were just all instantaneously cut down by the very, very deadly Blackback Mountain Berserkers. In terms of things that are most deadly that the attackers still have, that would definitely be the 2 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers, the Witch Realm Hammer Guard, the Witch Realm Blackguard, and the Demons of the Desert, as well as the Trollman of Harad. However, they do have a couple units that they could use to support, but for the most part they pretty much just have elites left, which elites by themselves are definitely not as good as elites supported by lower tier units. So they're really going to have to rely on these Guardians of Carndoom and Witch Realm Pikemen, as well as these Gundabad Guard, to support their high tier units. Oh, as well as these here, Mountain Orc Pikes. Who is chanting? I don't like that. Where are you? Just kidding. But actually, this has been no funny business. This area was portion of the fight was no funny business. Unlike my other video on the Thranduil's Hall's map, they just go straight in with no questions asked. They just charge straight in, right into the Elven defense, which I don't know if that's super wise, but I don't know. Whoa, how did Easterlings get here? I don't know. Maybe they were routing. Yep, as you can see, the Guardians of Carndoom and Witch Realm Pikemen are going in right into the fray. They are definitely not going to ask for any quarter, because they are orcs after all. I don't believe there's ever been an orc that has asked to be spared. I don't know. These Guardians of Carndoom are in shield wall, which is not a bad idea. You can see some snug skirmishers. However, this gate you cannot fire through, even though you don't have to batter down to walk through. You cannot fire anything through it. You can see they're starting to kind of reform their defenses. The Galadrim veteran warriors will be able to do very, very well in melee. Ooh, okay, yeah, that is a nasty defense. Pretty much, it's the same case for the elves as it is for the evil factions. They only have elites left and very, very little like mid-low tier units left. Ooh, I accidentally hit the gate instead of the Guardians of Carndoom. The Guardians of Carndoom are going to attack this unit here, and the Witch Realm Pikemen are going over here. However, the Guardians of Carndoom are getting javelins straight to the back, as well as a ballista. Oh my goodness! Holy cow! Did you see that? That took out pretty much an entire row of Sindar Blade Masters. Jeez, that was unfortunate. Whose ballista even was that? Well, it was Archangel's Ballista, and it was and it was Ragnar's Sindar Blade Masters. That's unfortunate. Let's see the Guardians of Cardoom. Many of them are bloodied up after taking quite a few javelins to the back. Okay, finally the Orcs of Gundabad have brought forward more units to support the Guardians of Cardoom and Rhun pikemen. Looks like he's not too sure about where he wants to send them though, so he's just gonna send them to the middle. Okay, no, he's sending them over to help the Guardians of Cardoom rather than the Rhun pikemen. Cinder archers are here, ready. I assume that the only reason they're not going to flank around is because they are worried that more units are coming across, so they're definitely not going to flank around. They'd rather wait, and so they can actually defend. Oh, maybe not. Take it back. I guess they're coming back. Oh, what is this? Looks like the Gundabad Guard have pushed straight through the Outer Council and are trying to get to the catapult crew. So the Sindar archers are trying to stop them, and the False Lords are going to take the defense where the Sindar archers had been. But you can still see that there's Palace Guard and Noldor Elder Nobles, who the Noldor Elder Nobles still have ammo. So, ooh, yeah, this is going to be a very, very tough fight for both sides. You can see the Witchrealm Hammer Guard, some Smaug Skirmishers, some Marine Shadow Guard. You see a lot of very, very nasty units. One-on-one, the Foul Swords definitely aren't as good as they used to be in 0.86, but I still wonder who would win one-on-one, the Witchrealm Hammer Guard or the Foul Swords. They both have the exact same amount. No, the Hammer Guard have actually more movement. Ooh. The Guardians of Cardoom are all but dead. Same goes. The Gundabad Guard are quite healthy, but the Witchrealm Hammer Guard are being to casualties as well. And you can see the last two Trolls of Gundabad have begun to have joined the fray. However, these Sylvan Spearmen are beginning to close the gap right here, just as the General's bodyguard unit of Gundabad is about to come in through the door. Ooh, yeah, this would be very tempting for me. You know, I maybe would actually bring this unit of Sylvan Spearmen right into the back of these, right into the back of those Witchrealm Hammer Guard, because I feel like they still have enough right here just to defend this area. 2 units of yeah, that's definitely enough. I would have sent these spearmen over this way. Ooh, you can see as the gate got broken open by a catapult, you can see mounted Uruk pikes, you can see heavy goblin crossbows, you can see Witchrealm Blackguard, Blackwatch Legion. Actually, yeah, I take it back. I would not have done that. Definitely, they took the better move, especially considering there are Elder Palace Guard here as well as False Lords. So yeah, the Witchrealm Hammer Guard are taking casualties. However, right here is definitely the weakest point, because their forces had to be brought back here to fight the Gundabad Guard and the Trolls that had broken through. However, since they are pretty much dealt with, the Sindar Archers and Heavy Swordsmen will be free to return to this area right here. Ballista is being to fire at the Witchrealm Blackguard, which is obviously a very good target. And I believe that's the Noldor Elder Nobles who are firing at the backs of these mountain Uruk pikes. See the 2 units of Blackwatch Legion are being brought in. That one's still back there, but this one's up front. Again, at shield wall. Ooh, yeah, so this is definitely very close. It's like elites versus elites. It's just absolutely crazy. This has been an absolutely awesome battle, I must say. Again, a big thank you to all the players involved, and especially to Dark Elven King for sending me the replay. Ooh. Near miss right there. I assume he was going for these Blackwatch Legion. The Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen, I assume, are out of ammo, which is why he's bringing them in, but they're pretty much worthless almost when they are out of ammo, because I've used the Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen before, and once they're out of ammo, they are absolutely trash in melee. They will just get absolutely butchered by pretty much anything that is anything in this game. I'm actually rather confused as to why Ragnar is leaving his Sindar Archers and Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen right here, as opposed to bring them to fill up this gap right here in his defense. Ooh, we can see that Galadrim Veteran Warrior taking out that Blackguard. And speaking of Blackguard, oh, there goes Azog himself. I wonder what he was killed by. Yes, things are not looking good for the attacking forces at the moment. I believe the only generals that are left are the Harad and the Orcs of the Misty Mountain general. So they've already lost half their generals, whereas the elves have not lost a single general. Can you believe it or not? The older elder nobles are retreating just so they can get a better target or area to fire from. Ooh, a little bit of friendly fire there on. Oh no, never mind. Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe a little bit of friendly fire, but for the most part, that was a very excellent hit on the Blackwatch Legion. Oh, not bad. Let's see here. Yeah, I feel like they just should have pushed everything forward at once. Even though there is a catapult, I feel like the attacking armies would have done better if they had just pushed forward everything rather than sending things in waves like this. Because as you can see, Gundabad has been pretty much dealt with, except for these new Marine Shadow Guard. And pretty much the only thing that is left at this point is a couple things from the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Well, he also has, yeah, a couple things from the Orcs of the Misty Mountains, including 2 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers in this health unit of Blackwatch Legion. Some Goblin Crossbowmen, but yeah. And then Harad has some Demons of the Desert, Trollmen of Harad, and a couple Southern Pikemen. So, yeah, the attacking army is definitely wearing thin, definitely. But it's 84% to 86%. It's been a very, very close battle the entire time. I believe last time I checked it was maybe like only between 2%, only a 2% difference. So that's cool. It's been a very, very close battle. As you can see, the infantry right here has the enemy infantry, well, attacking infantry, I should say, has been pretty much all but dealt with. The only thing left inside that is evil at the moment are these numerous Shadow Guard and a couple random Mountain Eric Pikes, a few random Blackwatch Legion, and the like. But you can see the fresh unit of Blackwatch Legion being brought forward. But I believe he would have done better if he had brought it forward earlier. Even though it presents a good target to the catapult, I feel like he might have had a better chance of breaking through the Elven line. Ooh, speaking of a good target for the catapult, that took about 10 of them out right there. And is he retreating them back? Okay. They went in there, got 10 of them got killed by a catapult, and then they ran back out. Just as the remnants of a couple units of Southern Pikemen are marching in. So yeah, things are definitely looking better for the defenders at the moment than the attackers. However, the elites that are in here have been fighting for a very long time. Not necessarily the False Lords or Palace Guard, but both of them are winded, and attackers still have the Trollmen of Harad, the Demons of the Desert, the 2 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers. So it's still pretty close. Really what the attackers need to do is they need to bust through just one area so they can get their crossbowmen around and begin to take flanking shots at the defending elves. Ooh, dang! I was watching those two fight. I was watching these two, the one Cinderblade Master versus the one Blackwatch Legion, but they both just got sniped by the ballista. Ooh, yeah, the Witch Realm Blackguard are down to 3, and I'm pretty positive that the Witch Realm Hammer Guard are all dead. Let's take another look outside. You can see the Blackwatch Legion just outside. 2 units of Black Mountain Berserkers, Catapult Crossbows, Gundabad Guard, some Guardians of Carn Doom, Goblin Trackers, Orc Bodyguards, and the Demons of the Desert and Trollmen of Harad, which are back here. That's where the chanting was coming from. I love listening to these guys chant. It sounds so nice. Everyone, all these dudes are chanting, but these guys are like, nope. Oh no, no way. I'm an officer. I can't chant. No way. Never trained me how. Yeah, they're routing. So I think we're going to speed this up a bit because nothing does happen for a little bit of time. Because the attackers do realize their predicament and are trying to think of a way to get out of it. However, sending forward a unit of Snaga skirmishes is not really going to help that much. Unless they are actually able to get in there and throw their javelins. Which, it looks like they're out of ammo, to be honest with you. Gundabad guard. They're just pretty much gonna get thrown away. They're gonna get chopped down very easily. Okay, yeah. So he is bringing forward his unit of Blackwatch Legion and the Guardians of Thranduil. Okay, yep. And the Trollman. And a unit of Trollman of Harad. So it looks like it's almost the final push of the attackers. No, they're not out of javelins. Ooh, a good hit on the Trollman. A little bit of friendly fire. Ooh, actually, had a lot of friendly fire on these Sylvan, these spearmen. Still not quite the final push because the Blackbacks and Demons of the Desert aren't here, but definitely a very, very deadly push to be sure. Okay, yep, there's the Demons of the Desert. These guys, I believe, have the highest missile damage out of any normal unit. Like, you know, not counting artillery. At the moment, they have... Ooh, large portion of them actually got taken out by the catapult. Very, very nice hit there. I believe they have 30 missile damage, which is absolutely insane. 30 missile damage for a javelin unit. That's crazy. That's cray. Anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I'm going to do it again. However, they're not firing their missiles. I believe it's probably because the I bet if they fire... Oh, dang, that was deadly. Yeah, taking about 6 of them right there, which that's a very unfortunate loss. If I were him, I would use my Demons of the Desert to throw them at these Cinderblade Masters back here, or the Elder Council. I mean, I would try to get the more expensive units like the Elder Palace Guard or Fallis Lords, or even the Gladron Veteran Warriors, but because they're so close to his own units, I don't believe that would happen. Actually, you know, the Noldor Elder Nobles actually present a very tempting target as well. However, he's just quite frankly not doing anything with them. They're just taking losses to the catapult. You can see a push from the Sylvan Elves and the Woodland Realms trying to, I assume, get after these Demons of the Desert and prevent them from throwing their javelins. The High Elves are definitely still doing their job. They've got their Fallis Lords and Noldor Elder Nobles back here. Oh, that was a little bit of friendly fire, but for the most part, it was enemies that were hit. Yeah, you can see more chanting going on. Now it's the Blackbacks. And the Trollman. Okay, well, I think I'm going to speed it up again because it looks like, yeah, nothing's really happening right here. The Trollmen of Harad are being surrounded over on this front. And over here, the Demons of Desert are just standing here doing nothing. So I think I'll go ahead and speed it up again. 91 to 87, so 4% difference now. The defenders are starting to pull ahead in terms of the percentage. Older Elder Nobles look like they could be at... Okay, no. Bring down back to normal speed because a unit of Blackback Mountain Berserkers has been brought in to support the Demons of the Desert. However, I really think, even though the defenders still have a catapult, I feel like they should have just pushed forward everything they had at one time, because it definitely would have been a lot harder for the elves to stop. But just coming in waves like this, it's never a good idea to attack in waves, quite frankly. If you do, you will definitely suffer for it, as is evidenced by the losses that the attackers are taking. Yeah, they still have ammo. And because the Blackbacks, even though they are very excellent in melee, including Demons of the Desert, they are getting surrounded, which means that any unit surrounded, especially by elite units, any elite unit, any elite unit surrounded by any number of units pretty much will be cut down fairly quickly, but Blackback Mountain Berserkers surrounded by Phallus Lords, Sindar Blade Masters, Elder Palace Guard, Galadriel Veteran Warriors, and Sindar Archers will be cut down very, very quickly indeed. Oh, whoa. Over here, however, the Trollmen of Harad are down to 10. They did take a very, very big chunk out of the Silver Heavy Spearmen, but because of the presence of the Sindar Blade Masters and because the Trollmen were surrounded for a bit there, they were cut down. However, as you can see from the frames, the battle is starting to wind down to a close. But let's just, as that battle continues for a bit, let's go ahead and survey the carnage. We can see the massive amount of bodies right here. We'll go ahead and take a look out here. Dead Mumakil, dead Storm Raiders. Ooh, a lot of dead Hashari right there. Oh man, a big pile of orcs and elves right there. A lot of things that were shot to death. I'm gonna pause it for a second because I heard a charge. A lot of attacking archers that were shot to death. The huge push by Rune that ended in utter disaster right here. And of course down here is where the Sylvan Axemen made a massive push, but then were defeated, and the Sylvan Elves had to retake the defensive position right here. And over here was the last stand of the Elder Royal Council, who, because they were surrounded by elite units, were cut down, unfortunately, without giving any casualties to the attackers in return. Okay, so Dirty Smile 101 is committing his other unit of Blackback Mountain Berserkers to the melee, which his other unit is down to 30. So, I mean, he probably should have done he probably should have committed his other unit of Blackbacks earlier, but still, what can you do? I think I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up for a bit because it's really not that I can't really commentate anything over it. Just Blackback Mountain Berserkers getting cut down. The Goblin Crossmen are trying to get into position to fire, but I don't. Who are they firing at? Well, they're firing at the older Elder Nobles, which is a good target to be sure. Okay, yep. Okay, you can see the Trollmen of Harad. That's one of his last units being brought forward to help the last of these Blackbacks, as well as the Catapult is trying to get in there to try to get a couple shots off. But as you can see, it looks like it's going to be a victory for the defenders because they just have so many elite units left. They still have Nolder Elder Nobles, Phallus Lords, Sindar Archers, 4 units technically of Sindar Blade Masters, as well as a unit of Elder Council. So it is inevitably going to be a win for the defenders, just actually like my last video in Dangerous Halls. So we will go ahead and speed up the last stand of the attackers. So in terms of requests, I had a request to play Elves versus Dwarves, so I'm going to do that, of course. I also had a request to do a historical Battle of Helm's Deep, which I am working on getting out. And I'm pretty positive that's the only requests I have at the moment. So oh, look at this. So not a single Elven general has fallen, including this one right here, which is the Lothlorien. Well, keep thinking. I think I said Sylvan Elves the entire time, but it's Lothlorien now, which is the Lothlorien general right here. Who it's just him and then one Galadriel veteran warrior left in that whole entire unit. So that was actually very, very cool. Now you can see Dirty Smile 101's last unit being brought forward, which is his Orc Bodyguards, as well as his heavy armor crossbows. Okay, there's the Harad general. I don't actually know what unit he was in. I feel like he was in like, I don't know, because like the Catapult was pushed in last. Maybe he was in a Trollman unit. Don't know actually.
Afraid it remains as such.
Yeah. So it is 97% to 92%.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
The older elder nobles are now being committed to melee. You can see Sylvan or Sindar Blade Masters closing in around on all sides, as well as some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, some Sindar Archers.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies
Ooh,
dead.
there's the Lothlorien general, and there goes yeah, the Goblin general, the Orcs, the Misty Mountain general, I should say.
Our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
So let's go ahead and look at the thing. Yep, 100% to 94%. So it was definitely a close battle. So that was
This is a clear victory.
definitely a battle worthy of a song. I was very happy that Dark Elven King. I was very happy and thankful that Dark Elven King sent that in to me. If you guys have any replays that you want me to do, just go ahead and send them in. My email is well, I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, so it was very, very fun to actually watch and commentate over Dark Elven King. Deployed 892 men, 1,500 kills. Archangel had 937 men, 1,800 kills, and Ragnar had the most men deployed and also the most men killed. He had 2,796 kills, almost 2,800 kills. Arnor to victory took the most kills for the attacking army with 700. No, Pharaoh took it. Pharaoh actually had the most kills with 722. Then Arnor to victory, then Pay 55, then Dirty Smell 101. So big thank you to all the players involved, especially Dark Elven King for sending me the replay. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the kills for Dark Elven King. The most kills that he had was the Elder Enway Archers with 219. Not far behind were the Elder Enway Swordsmen and the Smiths of a Region. So that is pretty much it for this new video. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't, go ahead and comment what you didn't like about it, and I will definitely take into account your opinion and any constructive criticism that you have for me. Now, farewell wherever you fare till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.